Hey there, I'm Lucia. I'm a senior strategist at Speero, and today I want to present to you this framework about server-side testing versus client-side testing. And server-side testing is often seen as the holy grail of experimentation, something that will solve all our problems with data, with cookies, and it might, but it also has cons. So it's just a different way of doing things, just like having frequentist versus Bayesian statistics. This also has both pros and both cons, and I'm going to show you today what those are. I got some help from other strategists at Speero and from Sitespec, which is a big tool that does server-side testing. There are options to do server-side testing, of course, but it was great to get some help. So let me start here with actually the cons, because I think the pros are usually a little bit more known, but let's get, you see here on the left, you see server-side testing. Let's get first into those cons of server-side testing because it's good that you know this. So server-side testing is still something fresh, still something kind of in its infancy. And sometimes tools don't, for example, don't have a preview mode or they don't have correct targeting. This can be very different. Then tests also often need to be built by developers. So, and in client-side testing, these are front-end developers, but in server-side testing, this back-end developers. So your work from server-side test for server-side testing might change and might change the developers that you're gonna need. Also, what's interesting is the traffic distribution is very, very different. So when you run a server-side test, the visitors are selected from the moment that they request something on your server. So it might be that they're landing on the homepage, and from that moment on, they are being bucketed. They get a code, and they are being bucketed in variant A or B of your test in checkout as well. But it might be that your visitor will never reach there, and then the visitor won't. This is very different than client-side testing with cookies because then you know the visitor really has landed on the page. Um, the last con, sometimes the implementation of server-side testing is a little bit more complicated than client-side testing. Then we go to the pros of server-side testing, which is the variant is immediately loaded from the server. So not first you see the normal version and then codes get injected, which bring a new version. No, immediately boom, new version. So it's faster. And also you usually can implement the winner faster because it's already built. You can run tests longer with more data quality, and I had a lot of fun with this because you can help visitors build habits on certain websites, for example. On client-side testing, this is an issue because cookies are have an expiration date these days, and it might be that your visitor there will first see the variant B and then fall into the variant A again. This is not the case with server-side testing. So there are some use cases in which server-side testing can give the most correct answer. And for example, this is also the case for app testing. App testing is by default server-side. Well, actually not, but most of the case. Also pricing strategies or very big redesigns or very big redesigns, if you inject them with code, it takes too long for them to load and the visitor just gets confused like, whoa, I just saw a totally different version. Within a few seconds, they get to see a new one. Let's get quickly into client-side testing. What are the pros? It's very easy to set up. So if you're starting out, start with client-side testing. Start with Google Optimize, something easy, something cheap maybe, and they inject code based on cookies, based on scripts. There are a lot of tools available. It's the most common way of experimenting. It's easy to code front end. Maybe you will be even able to do your own coding. You can test fast and learn fast. You can also do high velocity testing. The cons are the flicker effect, so that has to do with first you see the one variant, then the code gets injected. The cookie problem I described, cookies are only valid for a certain amount of time. You often cannot use this for app testing, and in summary, you might be limited in the types of tests you can run. These are the pros and cons of server-side versus client-side testing. If you need any help deciding which tool to go for, just let me know, and please download and share this framework if it helps you out.